Long before the world called him El Patron, Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria was just a restless boy in the hills of Envigado. He grew up barefoot, chasing clouds of dust down broken roads, surrounded by poverty that taught him hunger, not only of the stomach, but of the soul. His mother, Hermilda, was a strict schoolteacher who believed in education. His father, Abel, was a quiet farmer who believed in the land. But Pablo believed in something else: destiny. Even as a child, he refused to accept his place. When other kids dreamed of food or shoes, Pablo dreamed of power. He sold stolen exam papers, faked diplomas, ran small hustles in the markets. By 16, he was already dealing in stolen cars and contraband cigarettes. The boy who once counted coins in his pocket now counted the rules he would one day break. He told his cousin one evening, "I won't die poor. I'll die famous." And when cocaine began flowing north in the late 1970s, the world unknowingly made room for his ambition. Part 2. White Gold. Cocaine changed everything. To the elite of Miami and New York, it was luxury, a whisper of euphoria. To Escobar, it was an empire waiting to be built. With ruthless precision, he formed the Medellín Cartel, a network of pilots, chemists, smugglers, and killers. Deep in the Colombian jungle, laboratories churned out the white powder day and night. Private planes took off under the moonlight, their bellies full of white gold. Each flight meant millions, each shipment meant blood. Within years, Escobar's reach extended beyond Colombia's borders to Panama, the Caribbean, the United States. He built airstrips in the forest, submarines in rivers, and secret routes across oceans. By the mid-1980s, 4 out of every 5 lines of cocaine in America came from him. Money piled up faster than he could count it, literally. The cartel learned so much that Escobar spent $2,500 a month just on rubber bands to wrap his cash. He buried barrels of dollars in the earth, knowing he'd never spend it all. But Pablo wasn't chasing wealth anymore. He was chasing history. Part 3. The King of Medellín. By the time his fortune reached billions, Escobar had become a paradox, both hero and villain. In the slums of Medellín, he built homes, schools, hospitals, soccer fields. To the poor, he was a savior. Children ran to his car shouting, "Don Pablo," and he smiled, tossing bills like blessings. They called him the Robin Hood of Colombia. But behind that smile was something darker. Every brick he laid was paid for in blood. Every handshake hid a threat. Escobar's kindness was real, but it was also a weapon, a way to buy loyalty in a world where fear ruled. His influence stretched into politics. He bribed officials, funded campaigns, and in 1982, even won a seat in the Colombian Congress. For a brief moment, he stood among the country's elite, a drug trafficker disguised as a statesman. But power demands enemies, and Escobar's rise had already written the script for his fall. Part 4. Narco Wars. When the Colombian government finally recognized what he truly was, Escobar responded with war. Rivals like the Cali cartel emerged, but his deadliest enemy became the state itself. Judges were murdered, police chiefs assassinated, car bombs ripped through Bogotá and Medellín. The phrase, plata o plomo, silver or lead, became his law. Take the bribe or take a bullet. Escobar turned fear into strategy. He waged psychological war on an entire nation, ordering attacks that left cities trembling. In 1989, he orchestrated the bombing of Avianca Flight 203, killing over 100 people in an attempt to assassinate a political candidate. It was the moment Colombia crossed the line from crime to terrorism. Even his allies began to doubt him, whispering that El Patron had lost control. But Escobar didn't hear the whispers, or refused to. To him, every death was a message, every explosion a signature. He believed he was untouchable. History would soon correct him. Part 5. The Prison of Gold. When the blood became too heavy to ignore, Escobar struck an unthinkable deal with the government. He would surrender, but as always, on his terms. He built La Catedral, a prison in name only, perched on a green hillside overlooking Medellín. It had a soccer field, a bar, waterfalls, a gym, and a panoramic view of the city he ruled. He played cards with his guards, drank whiskey with friends, and continued running his empire from within its walls. The illusion of peace didn't last. When the government attempted to transfer him to a real prison, Pablo escaped through a hole in the wall, barefoot, laughing, disappearing into the mist. The man who built his own prison had turned it into a fortress. Now he became Colombia's most hunted ghost. Part 6. The Hunt. The manhunt that followed was legendary. The Colombian government, the DEA, and a vigilante group called Los Pepes joined forces to end Escobar's reign. Each day, the circle around him tightened. Each night, he moved from one safe house to another, trusting fewer and fewer people. The empire he'd built through terror was now crumbling in silence. He listened to police radios, ate simple meals, and phoned his family in secret. To his mother, he was still her little boy. To his enemies, he was the devil in hiding. But time had done what bullets could not. It broke him. His power was gone, his allies scattered, his wealth useless. All he had left was pride. "They can kill me," he once said, "but they can't kill my legend." He was right, but not in the way he hoped. Part 7. The End of the King. December 2nd, 1993. A quiet afternoon in Medellín. Escobar had just called his son, a short, tender conversation, his last. Minutes later, his hideout was surrounded. Police and soldiers flooded the neighborhood. Pablo ran to the rooftop, firing wildly. For a moment, it felt like one of his old shootouts, the invincible patron against the world. But the years had slowed him. A bullet struck him behind the ear. Some say it came from a police rifle. Others say it was his own, a final act of control. His body lay sprawled on the red tiles, face pressed to the sunlit roof. The man who once ruled continents had fallen no further than 2 stories high. Below, children cheered, not in celebration, but in disbelief. The king was dead, and yet, in the barrios of Medellín, his ghost lingers. His story remains a riddle. Was he a monster born of poverty, or a man who believed he could rewrite the rules of the world? Perhaps both. Because even in death, Pablo Escobar got what he always wanted: immortality.
If you made it to the end, thank you. Please leave a like and subscribe. It helps me create more stories like this one, because some secrets are still waiting to be heard.